Thanks very much. You know, February is Heart Month, and when someone has a sudden cardiac arrest, quick response is key when it comes to saving a life. Automated external defibrillators are an important tool in that response, often located at businesses and in some public spaces. Knowing where AEDs are so that they can be used in an emergency is the goal of a free registry with Emergency Health Services in Nova Scotia. We are learning more this morning with EHS Advanced Care paramedic Michael Yanchishin. He's also the EHS AED Registry Coordinator. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And it is Heart Month, so it's important to talk about this. And I mentioned in the offset that we're talking about sudden cardiac arrest. So what is that, and what's the difference between that and a heart attack?
So a heart attack is kind of when someone has a lack of blood flow to the coronary arteries or the heart arteries that's supplying the heart. And so someone who's having a heart attack can still be conscious. They're having some discomfort, chest pain. They could be profusely sweating, things like that. And it can also lead to a sudden cardiac arrest, which is basically when someone collapses suddenly. There's no movement, no breathing, and no pulse. So that's kind of the difference between the two of them.
Okay, so we're talking about AEDs to be used when someone is in that situation. They've collapsed, they're not breathing, there's no pulse. That's when you need an AED.
Exactly. So these units and devices are actually fairly easy to use. Obviously, you know, with Heart Month, we kind of do a lot of promotion for prevention, cardiovascular health, research, and then the treatment. So this is kind of one of the treatments if someone were to go into sudden cardiac arrest.
That's what you need in an emergency. And I mentioned that you're working on registering all the AEDs in the province with this program. So how does that work?
Exactly. So the registry kind of launched in October 2017, the Enhanced Registry.
Yes.
And we're registering hopefully all the AEDs in the province. So this registry is a system that we've kind of adopted or gotten. It's called AED Link, and it's actually going to let us you know, further our features to the registry. So some of the things that we have, maintenance reminders, so they can be automated. So under the program, an inspector will actually get maintenance reminders, you know, when pads or batteries are expiring soon, as well as monthly reminders just to check the AED, so the device.
Right.
There's also a responder portion, so this is kind of a fairly exciting feature for people that want to be involved. Say they're CPR and AED trained, they want to be involved. They can actually get a notification of a cardiac arrest within 1,200 feet of their location.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So if their AED is registered, they want to be a responder, and they're CPR and AED trained, then they can be one of those. And we're doing a lot of promotion, you know, kind of an underrated feature of this program is just kind of knowing where they are.
Exactly.
So we're including posters with that. And pretty soon, our call takers will be able to identify exactly where these AEDs are.
So that responders know.
Responders, and if you were to call 911 and get transferred to our medical communication center,
they could tell me where it is.
Exactly.
Where I am, as long as the one in the building I'm in is registered. So when it comes to using these, you mentioned it's easy. You brought a trainer version here. Can we actually go through how this works?
Yeah, so they're fairly simple. A lot of concern is that they're going to shock someone or deliver something to someone who doesn't need it, but that's not the case.
Okay.
And even though we recommend people getting trained in these, you don't actually have to have training to use one. They're fairly simple.
That's part of the idea, yeah.
They have visual cues and they have auditory
and it talks
cues.
To you. Yes.
So if we turn it on, this is obviously a trainer, so they don't always look like this. But if you see the visual cues right there, it tells you exactly
where to put the pads.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's actually on the image right there.
Yeah. And they normally tell you exactly what to do as well. So if you're not paying attention to the pictures,
it'll let you know. Okay. Oh.
So it automatically senses that they're attached. And this is a real kind of simulation. What would happen if you actually put one on?
Okay, so it's saying to stay clear. So then what?
Yeah, so it's actually analyzing the heart rhythm.
So it knows whether or not to administer the shock.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So if it sensed a rhythm, I'm just going to turn this off.
Yeah.
So if it sensed a rhythm that was actually, say, ventricular fibrillation, it would actually kind of recommend a shock. Some of them are semi-automated, so you actually have to press the button to give that shock.
Right.
And some of them are automated. It'll tell you not to touch, it'll charge up and deliver the shock itself.
But will all of them know whether or not there should be a shock administered?
Exactly.
It will know because you put these pads here and it's actually measuring heart rate.
It's reading the heart rhythm right now through these pads, and it'll deliver the shock through these pads as well.
Okay, wow, that's amazing.
So obviously with this whole program, we're recommending people get trained in CPR and AED.
Yes.
You know, CPR is just as important as using a defibrillator, as well as calling 911. It's kind of the first kind of chains of survival in the heart and stroke.
Yeah, exactly. So 911.
Exactly.
And then CPR.
High quality CPR.
And then
defibrillator.
Yeah.
And CPR and defibrillator, if you have multiple responders or rescuers, can go hand in hand. You can do them both
at the same
time. Yeah.
Good to know. Okay, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it. We'll put a link to more information about this program on our website so you can find out more for Heart Month, which is this month. Of course, important any month of the year. 7:23 is the time right now. We're back here in a few minutes here on CTV Morning Live. Stay with us.